What's up, guys? It's been a bit. I said I would post videos weekly, and I have not done that, but I'm gonna work and do it every 2 weeks as opposed to weekly. I found myself kind of rushing the process, and I'd rather make good content as opposed to content and then just put it out less frequently so that it's higher quality, but they're coming out less often. Today's video is going to be about the 11 credit cards I have as a 27-year-old. So I've been building credit ever since I was 18. I started out with a $500 credit limit credit card from my local credit union and then built my portfolio up from there. Number one is going to be that local credit union credit card. It was just 1% back on everything. That's better than nothing. That's better than a debit card, which you're not going to get any cash back, but 1% you can get a lot better elsewhere, even just other no annual fee cards. So I only use that to pay gas, build my credit up for a bit. I think I had that card for about a year before I applied for my next one. Super useful in building my credit up right when I turned 18 years old. The next card I got after that first one was the Discover It. I was super excited about this one. There's a grocery store where I live where they only accept Discover. A lot of places abroad won't accept Discover, but there's actually a grocery store where I live where they only accept Discover. The only other option to pay is cash or a debit card. I would always rather use a credit card, get some points back if I can. But the second card I got was the Discover It. It's got 1% back on everything, and then it's got the 5% rotating categories depending on what time of year it is. Every quarter they have 3 different categories. They can earn 5% back. I think right now it's grocery stores, wholesale clubs, and one other thing that I can't think of right off the top of my head. But 5% back in those 3 categories for the first 3 months of 2026, so I use that whenever I can. The card I got after the Discover It was the Chase Freedom Unlimited, another no annual fee card. It's 1.5 times points on everything, and then 3% back on dining and 3% back at drugstores. I use this card a ton. I mean, I still use it pretty frequently, especially when I'm going into a restaurant and I don't have a card that is earning points elsewhere, because those Chase points are very valuable. You can redeem them just for cash back, but you can also redeem them for Hyatt or United points if you want, if you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve. I don't have either right now, but I did have the Preferred previously. Right now I just have the Freedom Unlimited, but the Freedom Unlimited is the one I got after the Discover It. 1.5% on everything and then 3% on dining, 3% on drugstores. The fourth card that I have is the Chase Freedom OG. You actually can't apply for this card anymore. They closed applications. The one that it's similar to now is the Chase Freedom Flex. I don't have that one, but I have the Chase Freedom OG. I did have the Chase Sapphire Preferred previously. When I didn't want to pay that $95 annual fee anymore, I just wanted to drop it to a card that doesn't have an annual fee. I chose to go with the Chase Freedom. It does give me another 5% rotating category similar to the Discover, but they're different categories. But again, no annual fee. I think it's 3% on dining, 1% on everything else, and then it has the rotating 5% categories. Right now, one of them is dining. The other one is like American Red Cross or something like that. So you get 5% back in those categories for now. The fifth card that I have is Prime Visa. I actually use Amazon Prime quite a bit, whether it's for watching videos, using it for music, photos, and then just buying things off Amazon, but it's going to be 5% back on everything on Amazon, and then offers 2% on dining and 2% on gas purchases, which is very useful. There aren't a lot of cards that I have where it's 2% on gas. You can get ones that have more, but for a no annual fee card, no annual fee. I pay for Amazon Prime. I'd pay for it regardless, so the card is just a benefit. But the other perk of this card is that there's no foreign transaction fee. Of the other cards I've listed, so the Credit Union one, the Discover It, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and the Chase Freedom OG, all 4 of those have a foreign transaction fee, whereas the Amazon Prime Visa does not. And the only fee that I pay every year is for Amazon Prime. Again, I would pay that regardless of whether I had the card or not, and then there's no annual fee because I would already be paying that. It is the first card that I have that doesn't have a foreign transaction fee, which is useful if I'm traveling abroad. One of my favorite cards that I use pretty frequently. Okay, the only other Chase card that I have, this is my 4th one with them, is the Chase United Gateway card. I did have the United Explorer card. I was doing it for a sign-up bonus. I think I got 60,000 miles for United, and we used those the last year to fly to Denver. Well worth it. I think I had to pay taxes, so I paid 20 bucks. But other than that, it would have been, $500 for 2 people to go there, and it ended up just being points. So I paid 20 bucks. We got to fly to Denver and back. Not too shabby. But I did downgrade that card. That card was a $95 annual fee. Once I got that sign-up bonus, I didn't really want to use it, so I dropped that to their no annual fee version. Huge perk. No annual fee, and they also do not have a foreign transaction fee, which is great. The earnings isn't great. I think it's 1% back on everything, 2 times United miles, maybe dining and United flights, but everything else is just 1x United miles, which isn't great. I'd rather get either Chase points, Amex points, Bilt points, or just cash back if I were to use a card. So I kind of avoid using the United Gateway. It's no annual fee, so I will leave it open forever, but that's why it's in the portfolio. Number 7 is the Amex Platinum. I actually talked about this in one of my previous videos. I got it in October. Before that, I had the Amex Gold. I had the Amex Gold for 4 years, and I just used it every year. I paid the annual fee, made sure to use the credits to offset that annual fee. I believe the Amex Gold now is $325 a year, whereas the Platinum is $795. I think it's $795. It might be $895 now. Every time I say the annual fee of the Amex Plaid, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit. I mean, you say $895, $900 to use a credit card when you could use any of these other ones for free. But the perks so far have offset themselves for me. Again, I've talked about those previously, but that is the other card that I have. That was number 7. Number 8 is the Amex Blue Business Plus. This is just 2x Amex points on everything. Very useful. There's no annual fee. It is a business card. Anything that you use for a business, whether it's YouTube channel, selling stuff on eBay, selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, another business like streaming, anything like that that you can think of, you can apply for this credit card, use it, 2x points. Card number 9 that I have is the Hilton Honors American Express card, another no annual fee card. You earn Hilton points, which can be useful. I think I did it again for the sign-up bonus. At the time, I believe it was 100,000 points. Again, use that for a stay when I went to Chicago. Stayed at an incredible hotel. If I look at the prices now, even just for one night, it's $550 a night, whereas the points, I think a couple 100,000 points, which sounds like a lot, but when you're transferring American Express points to Hilton, it's 1 American Express point to 2 points Hilton. So if it's 200,000 Hilton points, it's only 100,000 Amex points. If I were staying for 5 nights, $500 a night, $2,500 as opposed to 200,000 Hilton points, heck of a deal. I did not end up paying that when I went to Chicago. Would have been beneficial. If you can find a deal like that, that's great. And again, it's no annual fee card. I used it for the sign-up bonus. Now I don't use it very often, but yeah, that's number 9. Credit card number 10, the Fidelity Visa. So I've been using this one a lot. It's 2% back on everything, and I actually like this one because it redeems directly into my brokerage account, or you can put it into a Roth account if you do have one with Fidelity. It's 2% back unlimited. They were pretty generous with their credit limit, which I really liked. I had just opened my brokerage with Fidelity. I just wanted their credit card, and then I ended up transferring all of my investment accounts over to them. It just simplified things. I have my credit card with them. It's 2% back, and that goes directly into my brokerage account, which is getting a decent yield. You can use a brokerage account almost like a high yield savings. I think it offers 3.3% right now, the same that my American Express high yield savings. I really like the Fidelity Visa 2.0, no annual fee, and it doesn't have a foreign transaction fee, which is super important. When I went to Spain a couple years ago, I used it for everything over there. I never had any issues. I didn't have to call anyone. I just told them before I was going, and then every transaction went through, no questions asked. Okay. Credit card number 11. Credit card number 11 is the Bilt credit card. This one, not my favorite at the moment. If you pay attention to credit cards, you know, treating it like a hobby like I do. Bilt 2.0, pretty disappointing. I don't like the earning system that they kind of set up on all of their cards. They have 2 annual fee cards now. I already picked up the $95 annual fee card. It'll be getting here early February. I'm gonna try it out for a year, see if it makes sense or not. $95 a year. We'll see if it's worth it or not. Bilt, I really liked it before when it was no annual fee. You just had to use your card 5 times a month, and then you earned points paying rent, whereas now it's a lot more convoluted. But if you guys have questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments. So that is 11 credit cards I have as a 27-year-old. I love credit cards. I like playing the game, playing with all the points, the different transfer partners. I haven't found a way to do that easily yet, but I hope to learn more. And even just a simple one-to-one transfer. If I want to transfer some Amex points for a Delta flight, it might not be a great redemption value, but it's a free flight that I would get that I would otherwise have to pay for cash. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do enjoy credit cards. I like talking about them. Guys, if you have questions, put them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Okay, bye.